From the Gypsy King having trouble finding someone to tango with him, to the MMA world finally getting ready for a gimmicky fight they were promised long ago, here's all you need to know about UFC's crazy offer to Tyson Fury. The King's having a bit of a dry spell because from the looks of it, no one wants to fight him, even though the champ's got quite a record on him. The struggle to book a fight over the past few months has been real, and in hopes of changing all that, the big guy decided to go big or go home and challenge Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou. What's even crazier is we might see a fight coming up in the future. Why, you ask? Because Uncle Dana always has Tyson's back. But who put this idea in his head? It all started when the Gypsy King's plan for a boxing comeback was screwed, because he was supposed to clash with Alexander Usyk, but negotiations ran cold at the very last moment. Do you know what this means? Tyson's well into this year without a bout on his record, and the man hasn't fought since December 2022, when he scored a win over Derek Chisora, which served as his comeback after a brief retirement. While all of this was going down, Jon Jones snuck up and won the heavyweight title after defeating Cyril Gane UFC 285. And then Joe Rogan entered the chat with bucket loads of trash talk. And let me tell you, Fury and Rogan aren't exactly best buds, because it turns out Joe has zero confidence in Fury's fighting skills. In a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience with Andrew Schultz, Rogan got a little too candid about his feelings on a Fury versus Jones bout, saying, "No one thinks Tyson Fury can beat Jon Jones in a fight."
He's the GOAT. Yeah, there's no one thinks like Tyson Fury could beat Jon Jones in a fight.
Isn't that interesting?
No one thinks that.
According to him, it's the popular opinion, and the Gypsy King knows he'll have to bow down to Bones. He didn't stop there, though. Joe also added, "If Jon Jones and Tyson Fury are locked into a room, I'm pushing all of my chips on black." He also called Jones the baddest guy on the planet, saying that while Fury was an amazing boxer, he had no chance in hell of making it out of that room.
Tyson Fury is an amazing boxer. He doesn't have a chance in hell of making it out of that room.
Isn't that crazy?
He has no chance of making it out of that room.
Isn't that crazy?
Zero chance.
Of course, Fury hit back with a response of his own, followed by Uncle Dana sliding into his DMs with an offer he couldn't refuse. But before we get into that, let's see what the Gypsy King had to say. He was not happy at all. Tyson had a whole different take on the baddest man on the planet, and of course, he thinks it's him. Oh, and he even called Rogan a lil bald-headed midget. So it's safe to say that Joe struck a nerve, and now Fury's looking for a chance to prove that if he and Jones were locked in a room, he'll be getting out of there without a scratch on him. And we might even get a chance to see who's right, because Dana White smells a profitable fight here, and he's never gonna let that go. Who said the UFC honcho doesn't have favorites? That's hardly the case. And in this situation, White's ready to bend the rules and even flip-flop on his own words just to get Tyson a fight. A little while ago, fantasy matchups with either Jon Jones or Francis Ngannou seemed like a dream, but now they're very much on the table. The UFC boss took a complete 180 here, because just a few days before the news about a fantasy bout hit the stands, Dana had slammed boxing for hosting gimmicky type fights. Here's what he said: "One of the big problems with boxing right now is it's all about these gimmicky fights. That's just not what I do." I'm not sure if this 180 flip came as a surprise to all, but one thing's clear: the MMA world isn't happy with this hypocritical behavior. As for Uncle Dana, in his signature fashion, he couldn't care less. In fact, he's already extended a few offers to Tyson to settle the debate of the baddest man on the planet. During a Twitter Spaces conversation, Fury revealed something no one was expecting. Apparently, he received an offer for a hybrid fight against Bones. But that wasn't all. Francis's name also popped up during the talks, and the two fighters even got in touch. Fury's beyond excited and was recorded saying, "There's a lot of options out there. The future's bright for sure." Even though the Gypsy King versus Bones fight might not be confirmed, some recent news has sent everyone into a frenzy. Fury will be entering the ring in a fantasy bout, and his opponent's set to be Francis, the former UFC heavyweight champ. That sounds like an event we won't want to miss. Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's promoter, let the cat out of the bag, confirming that the Gypsy King will soon be facing off against the ex-UFC champ. During an interview, Hearn was asked if the rumors were true, and he confirmed it, saying that he'd heard that news going around in the promoter's circle. But of course, even he didn't know all the details, so right now, the only thing that can be confirmed is that it's going to be an exhibition. There won't be any knockdowns, and it's going to be one hell of a fight to watch. Currently, we'll have to wait for more confirmation or maybe a little something from Fury's promoters, but the deal's as good as done. Though Hearn's on the same page as a lot of people in the MMA world, saying that he was disappointed in the matchup. Turns out, like many of us, he was also waiting on a bout between Fury and Usyk, cause getting an undisputed champ is always nice. But with this upcoming exhibition fight, who knows what's what? While it might not be satisfying, the promoter added that the Gypsy King will be seeing a whole lot of money coming in. And besides, he's in charge of his own career, so the man can pick his fights on his own. As for his opponent, Francis, this might be his way into the world of boxing, something he's been looking for a long time, especially since he got knocked off the throne in January 2023. Dana didn't give him a contract he liked, leading to the fighter not signing for an extension, which was followed by Francis being stripped of his title. And get this, Francis became the first reigning champ to leave in almost 20 years. Now, fans aren't so happy with this upcoming matchup because for them, these exhibitions are becoming more and more staged, bringing boxing closer to WWE by the day. One even said, the great legends of boxing will be rolling in their graves because of what's happened. Others encouraged everyone to boycott the fight since it was disrespectful to the sport. As for who's going to win, fans seem to side with Fury here, saying the man loves a good challenge, and he's the best heavyweight that's ever lived, so the fight's going to be a piece of cake for him. We'll just have to wait and see if Tyson's really able to rise to the occasion, but chances are, even after this so-called confirmation, the fight might not come through. After all, it's happened before. You heard that right. The Cameroonian was set to have a hybrid fight with the Gypsy King. After knocking out Dillian White in April 2022, he invited his potential opponent to the ring and complimented his muscles, promising that if the two were supposed to fight, there'd be fireworks. At the time, the potential fight had no rules. Yep, none at all. The only thing fans knew was that they'll be in a boxing ring, wearing MMA gloves. Francis was recorded saying that he wanted to do something a little different, which would make his boxer opponent a little uncomfortable. Did you know he even suggested fighting barefoot? I wonder if something like that will be happening in their upcoming exhibition. From what I can tell, the ex-UFC champ was looking forward to their first hybrid bout a lot. Whenever he was asked about the bout, he had one answer: Tyson's on my hit list in an exhibition fight. Francis was even ready to let his opponent pick the place, even though he was leaning towards a Rumble in the Jungle 2 type of fight in Africa. But then Dana White happened, and the champ had to leave UFC. Well, it's good that they've got a chance to finish what they started. And believe me when I say this, fans are looking forward to seeing if they stick to any of their previous ideas for this upcoming bout. So there you have it. From the MMA world finally getting ready for a gimmicky fight they were promised long ago, to the Gypsy King having trouble finding someone to tango with him, that's all for UFC's crazy offer to Tyson Fury.